How much college wrestling scholarship can you expect to get? Well, there's kind of 4 parts to this. So number one would be the new rule change in 2022 is that anytime you get 1 penny, it's automatically 20%. So there's no more 5%, 10%. So look, the colleges, especially the in-state colleges, when they recruit in-state kids, they realize that the tuition's about 3 times cheaper than it is for out-of-state kids. So they offer a lot of like 5% scholarships, 10% chance to work your way up, which some of them do. There is an opportunity to work your way up, but it's nothing in writing, right? So it's just kind of like the honor system. But my experience is that we have had quite a few kids actually work their way up and do quite well. So it's 20% or nothing. So that rule change actually might hurt a little bit, because now the college coaches, they're in for a 20% scholarship if they give you a penny. So I think they're going to be pushing more walk-ons, but there's also a roster limit for some colleges. Not all of them, but some schools have a roster cap. So because of Title IX with the proportionality clause, which says, 59% of the University of Wyoming is female, then 59% of the athletes better be female. Well, guess what? We have something called football, so that really doesn't work. So just because of that, there is a roster limit where they're like, we got to keep male athletes out of here. They're like, well, I would like to have 15 walk-ons on my team for wrestling. Can't do it. The AD says don't do it. You can have a few, but the men's track, yeah, let's cut these walk-ons. So it's kind of hurts, I think, in a little bit. I could be wrong about this, but that's my instinct. So it's either walk-on or 20%. So that's kind of good for you, but the opportunities might actually drop in the long run. So you're right at 20% if you get a dime. So 20%, is from a financial standpoint. 20% of Cornell University is a lot of money. 20% of some little small Division II school and you're in-state, that's still 20%, but financially it's just, it's a lesser number. But still, so the percentage I think is more important. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, our athletes with our college recruiting center that Trevor runs have averaged $34,000 each. So they sign up for the program. There's like a $900 program, a $1,700 program, and a $3,800 program. And you get 37 back. That's the average. And it's actually, it's either 34 or 37. And then there is $64,000 or $67,000 is actually the number, but we removed the military academy kids. So if you're like, Air Force Academy, Naval Academy, we removed them out of the out of our numbers, just because we thought that was fair to you guys. But the numbers actually is approaching 70. But when you take them out, it's right around $35,000 on average. So would you trade, $1,800 for $35 grand? Probably all day long. But we're also getting kids who are serious and want to do it. So I think that's important to understand as well. So many kids who kind of try for a scholarship, they really are only trying like after their junior year, maybe during their senior year, and they're in full-fledged panic mode. Like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? It's like waiting until August 2nd and scrambling around like, oh my God, I want to try to find a teaching job. I got my teaching certificate last May. Dude, you should have been trying to find that job last December, right? So start early. We like to start them as about a freshman. Anybody who's scrambling around getting a lot of, and you hear how hard it is to get recruited, you're probably talking to people who didn't go about it the right way. It's kind of like the teacher who can't get a job. You're like, well, you really didn't do it right. So I'm probably not going to listen to you, so don't just listen to everybody when they give you their horror stories, because it's really not that bad, right? Be serious, start early, and if you want to use our program, you can. If not, that's great too. But, we're right around 35 grand. So the fourth thing that I wanted to mention is that academic money. So you get an athletic money, but if you have like a 3.5 or higher, there's academic money that you can get. So maybe you get a 20% scholarship, but then you get another 30% academic. So now you get 50% of your school paid for. So those academics are very important. Test scores are huge too. So really double down and be serious about that. Plus, if it's a toss-up between me and you and one other guy or girl, they're going to pick the guy who's just as good, maybe even a step behind. They think they can make me into something because my grades are tremendous. And they're like, man, I can get this kid. I can throw more money at him academically. So the academics can really set you apart, and someone who has lower academics, they're just going to like say, I don't want this kid, right? So academics can really help open up the floodgates for you guys. The fourth thing that I would like to mention is, as far as in-state, out-of-state, you get a 20% scholarship out of state. It's pretty expensive. 20% scholarship in-state, it's going to be pretty nice. You're going to enjoy that. So out of state can be very expensive. And it used to be that the in-state colleges would offer a lot of 5-10% scholarships to the top guys or girls because their out-of-state offers might be 30%, but they're still paying more. They're like, dude, come here for like 10%. Don't go there for 30. It's just going to cost you more money. It's triple or quadruple the price per credit hour. So the athlete's like, yeah, I just got to stay in state because it's cheaper, right? And my opinion is, it's not all about money. You're not wrestling for money. We got to worry about it. But if you're not going to go to your dream school because you're worried about a little bit of student loan debt, you're probably going to go to that college and be miserable and quit and not be excited about being on the team. I'd rather see you go to a place that you're just in love with, So the in-state, out-of-state thing does play a factor, and you need to keep that in mind as well. So how much can you expect to get? 0 or 20%. That's the new rule. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it really hurts the out-of-state, the guys who want to compete out of state. If you're in a non-wrestling state, you get a chance to go to a college. You might not have a college wrestling programs in your state. But academics helps. The in-state versus out-of-state plays a factor. And, understand that ultimately you want to be a fast horse. No one can get you recruited just because you want it really bad. You have to be a fast horse. These college coaches, they're going to get fired if they don't win. And so they're put, their careers on the line. And they're going to try to get the fastest horse they can, just like you would if you were in their situation. So your goal is to train like a maniac, and you definitely want to become a fast horse, and then you have the opportunity. And then if you wanted to use our program and have us market for you and sell for you and come to our camps and nurture you and get to know you and share what we know about you with the college coaches and establish that two-way communication between you and them, it's kind of like a marriage in a way. We want to kind of introduce and nurture people along so that they're not just getting bombarded with a bunch of strangers whose coach or mom or dad really wants so-and-so to wrestle for them and wants them to open up the safe and pull out a bag of money. It's best if you have some relationship there. Good luck.